People say age is undefeated, but they haven't met Robbie Robinson. At 79, he still walks into the gym looking like he stepped out of a time capsule. Most think it's genetics, but the truth is far more interesting. 5 movements and a lifetime of discipline kept his body decades younger. So, what are the 5 exercises that stopped his aging? 1. Core first, the foundation of everything. For Robbie, training doesn't start with the bench press or the squat rack. It starts with the center of the body, the core. He always says the stronger the core, the stronger the entire body. And that's why, even after all these years, he still hits abs before anything else.
Here we go.
See what I'm talking about. The stronger the core is, the stronger the whole body is. The core is the abdominal area. That's the first thing I do when I go into the gym. I always train my abs first.
So,
I get them going.
I noticed when we trained a few times at Gold, every time you start me with the abs.
It's abs, see?
Every time.
That way, that's the strength. You strengthen the core, everything else is stronger. I'm slightly hanging, the elbows are slightly bent. Vacuuming.
I see it. Oh my gosh. Vacuum on the bottom.
He explained it simply. That's the first thing I do when I go into a gym. I always train my abs first. His reasoning is practical. A solid core keeps the spine safe, improves posture, and makes every other exercise more effective. That's how he maintained that tight, carved midsection all these years. One of his favorites is the hanging leg raise. He said it affects the whole abdominal area and helps create that classic V taper. But beyond the mechanics, it's the consistency that kept him youthful. Robbie has trained his core almost daily since the 1970s. That kind of discipline doesn't let age creep in easily.
So that's what you want to do. You want to contract that muscle. The more you contract that muscle, the more abdominals are coming, the more it's going to keep suppressing it. The waist is going to get smaller. The obliques are going to get smaller. You're not going to have the love handle. You're going to have muscle.
Yeah.
That's what you're working for.
And it's not just the rhythm. Now you also added the vacuum on the bottom.
At the bottom, see? And that makes the waist smaller. Makes the shoulders look...
Wow.
If you look closely at any clip of him today, the first thing you'll notice is how solid and controlled his midsection still is. That's decades of habit, not luck. 2. Shoulders. Robbie's shoulder routine is built around one old-school move, the behind-the-neck press. He's said countless times how much he trusts this exercise because it hits the entire shoulder girdle when done correctly.
Here's a interesting question for you. If you can pick one exercise for each body part, what would you pick? Let's go by body part. If you can pick only one.
If I was going to do shoulders, I seriously wanted to build incredible muscular shoulders.
Okay, shoulders.
Behind the neck press.
Behind the
neck press, and I would make sure that weight, I'm pressing the deltoid. But what people do is what I see is this.
Yes.
See, but you're not going to feel in the deltoids with
Got
that.
it.
Oh, that's going to be putting all that pressure right on that joint. Now, boom. And you go forward like that, it stretches all the whole shoulder girdle, all those muscles affected.
He often breaks down the technique with calm confidence. Smooth bar path, full stretch, upper back arch. He warns that most injuries come from pushing without positioning. But when the movement is controlled and aligned, the deltoids fire perfectly without stressing the joints. In clips of him performing the press, his form looks almost automatic. Tight core, elbows under the bar, smooth lockout. He makes a movement that scares some lifters look effortless because he spent decades perfecting how his body should move. This exercise kept his shoulders round, full, and injury-free deep into his 70s. It also kept him mobile. Shoulder mobility is one of the first things people lose as they age. But Robbie preserved it with practice, not luck. And it shows. Even now, when he lifts his arms, the delts pop like a man half his age. 3. Back training. Robbie's approach to back training is beautifully simple. Chin-ups, to the front and to the back. He always believed that bodyweight pulling movements kept him athletic and balanced.
Give me one for back. What? I
Chins.
know back. Chin-ups.
Chins. Chins to the front,
Yep.
chins to the back. Chins to the front, chins to the back.
Wow.
The next one for the back would be T-row bar.
While machines changed over the decades, while gyms modernized, he never abandoned the basics. And when you watch him perform chins, there's no rushing. Every rep is slow and controlled, chest tall, lats fully expanded. That level of quality creates a back that holds its shape for decades. He explained that these movements activate more muscles than most people think. Arms, forearms, lats, even the midline. That combination of strength and stability is one reason his posture remained upright, while others began to curve with age. Chin-ups also kept his metabolism high. Body weight work forces the body to remain lean enough to pull itself efficiently. And Robbie always valued being functional, not just big. That mindset aged far better than chasing numbers on a stack of weights. Today, at 79, he can still perform variations of pulling movements with clean form, a sign that his joints, tendons, and muscles aged gracefully. 4. Legs. When Robbie talks about leg training, there's no hesitation. Squats. In his own words, squats work the whole body.
Okay, we go to legs now.
Oh,
Quads.
definitely leg or squats.
Squats.
You got squats work the whole body.
Yeah.
You got to get that squat in there. Leg presses, it's a day you'd want to have a break.
Yeah.
Give that lower back a break.
If you want to train legs, squat.
Squats.
And that's exactly why he never stopped doing them. Squats build coordination, balance, hormones, and overall power. They keep the bones dense and the metabolism active. And to Robbie, they were more than a leg exercise. They were a youth-preserving ritual. He often reminds lifters that contraction and compression during training need proper release afterward. That's why recovery became just as important as effort. Stretching, breathing, and loosening the tissue were essential for him to keep squatting through multiple eras of bodybuilding. In old clips, you'll see him with deep, controlled squat form, hips back, chest up, heels grounded. In newer clips, even though the weight is lighter, the technique remains identical. That consistency protected his joints and kept him mobile into his late 70s. The result? Strong legs, no stiffness, and a physique that still looks athletic, not worn out. 5. Arms. Robbie's arm training is full of small, precise techniques that paid off over a lifetime. When training biceps, he often braces his back against a wall to keep the tension locked into the muscle. No swinging, no cheating. Then, he adds his signature cue, turning the wrist at the top to fully activate the biceps. It's a tiny movement, but on camera, you can see how much deeper the contraction becomes.
Bicep. Give me one for bicep.
Bicep. Me, if I'm trying to like really stretch my bicep, I would put my back against the wall, my knees out in front of me a little bit. That forces all the weight to be on the biceps. I wouldn't have my shoulders here, I'd have my shoulders there.
You always pull your shoulders back on the
Always
bicep.
pull the shoulders back because you're in the upper back arch position.
Got it.
All the press is kept on the bicep. If I bring my shoulder forward, the shoulder's going to carry the load too. See what I'm saying? That's what has happened. People don't realize that. But you got your body like this, then it's all bicep. Here, if you're not turning your wrists, you're not going to build in the bicep. You can't keep the wrists straight. You have to turn them. It's like you're going flexing,
Yep.
flexing. So all that stress is placed
Like
on
you're
the bicep.
squeezing
It's
all.
squeezing. Hold it 1-2 seconds.
Yep.
And slowly lower it down. When I see people, you
Yep.
go forward. If you're going forward, stress is on the lower back.
Yeah.
For triceps, he loves rope extensions but with strict form. Elbows tight, tension constant, no flaring. He says keeping the elbows close stresses all 3 heads of the tricep, giving the arm its full shape. That's the kind of detail that built his iconic arms and kept them full for decades.
My next exercise would be, say, for tricep, rope extension.
Oh, you did those to me.
See,
oh my God.
What has happened here, the closer you keep your head, your elbows to the head, it's flexed all 3 hairs of the tricep. You're pushing that rope like this, and again, you got that upper back arch.
Yep.
You let that weight go all the way down and press. You're keeping the elbows close to the head. And what I see, everybody got them sprayed. So you're not really, what you're working is this.
Yeah, you want your elbows to your ears.
These techniques aren't flashy, but they're the kind of habits that preserved his muscle quality. Even now, when he flexes, you can still see the sharp separation between muscle heads. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens by repeating the right technique for a lifetime. Ageless training wasn't the only factor. Robbie calls water his first steroid, the one thing the body needs before anything else. He drinks around 1 gallon a day and even times it around meals to keep digestion clean and inflammation low.
Number 1 in your blueprint is water. Why water? You told me it's like the most anabolic thing.
I've always thought that water, a lot of people say, well, I was holding water. Well, if you're holding water, it's automatically means you weren't drinking enough. A lot of people look at their physique and they say, well, I'm bloated. Well, you're bloated because you're not drinking enough water.
He often says hydration is what keeps the skin tight and the muscles full. And looking at him today, it's hard to disagree. His skin, posture, energy, all look far younger than his actual age. He says he feels young, he looks young, and he genuinely doesn't feel 79. And watching him train, it's clear that it isn't ego, it's reality. All right, that's the breakdown. Robbie Robinson didn't beat aging with shortcuts. He beat it with habits, precision, and crazy consistency. If you enjoyed this and want more deep dives into legends like him, hit like, drop a comment, share it around, and make sure you're subscribed, because more stories are coming soon. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one.